we have Charles from TopDon here. He's going to be giving us a little rundown of what it is that TopDon has to offer, what kind of materials they have, any kind of machinery that they have that can help any locksmith out on their daily jobs to get their stuff done quicker or better. We're going to find out from him today, right now, what's going on. How are you doing, Charles? How you feeling today, man?
I'm doing great, Louis. How are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Great to have you. Welcome again to the UHS Upload. We're going to be doing this all the time. Charles is a great friend of us here at UHS. We love the TopDon products. Let's go ahead and just hear from you, Charles. What you up to, man?
March is a packed month for us with events going all around. So if you're coming to any event, check us out. Stay tuned for a lot of new product. A lot of things are still in development stage right now, but we have a lot of exciting things coming out that right now at this moment I can't get into too many details about.
Understandable.
But keep your eye out for TopDon. We're going to create some waves in the industry. Some exciting things for the automotive repair industry and for the locksmiths as well. We do have a new integrated tool that'll be coming out soon, so be on the lookout for that.
I know that I've heard a lot about your diagnostic stuff, but I have to assume that there's a lot more going on to TopDon than just that.
Oh, absolutely. TopDon, at TopDon, we're a technology company, and we focus on automotive test equipment. So we have everything from battery testers up to OE level diagnostic scan tools. And in the mix of that, we also have our locksmith focused tools for being able to do key programming.
When you say OE, that's original engineering? Is that what that stands for?
Original equipment.
Equipment. Okay, like
is
so.
What that stands for. So
what the actual.
So we have coverage for domestic, Asian, and European vehicles that's very comparable to what you might expect to see on the factory scan tool as far as diagnostics wise goes.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's what we mean when we say OE level.
Yeah, because I've had a couple of jobs where I get into it and I get just far enough into the entire work I'm doing, and then I hit a snag where basically the computer says I can't go any further without a dealer code or some kind of a thing like that. Is that basically the level of, like, it goes up to as far as past the dealer codes?
Right. Well, I mean, every scan tool, the problem that we run into in the industry is the constant changing that the manufacturers are making and trying to keep up with all of that. So there's always going to be times when just one tool isn't enough. I think most professionals in the industry have realized that, and they know that one tool is just not enough because of the constant changes, because, we may be up on a change that Ford's making,
right,
while one of our competitors may be up on a change that GM's making. Just using those two as examples.
Right, I understand.
So, they're all, and then you've also got to figure in that even though these are computers, they're designed by human beings, and sometimes we're not perfect, right?
Right,
so
right.
We always want to be. We strive to be perfect, but we're not always perfect.
It's not normally the case.
And you'll find that even for the guys out there that deal specifically with nothing but OE tools, they'll find that there's software issues in those as well.
I didn't realize that there was a correlation between the locksmith business and the mechanic side of things, where the scanning tools need to be kept up to date and constantly updated in the same way that all the locksmith tools do, because they're constantly fighting against the mechanics and the people working on the cars to be able to be the only ones to work on them. Basically, servicing is what they want to keep anyone from doing besides themselves. That's basically how it goes.
That would be a fair statement, because at the end of the day, truthfully, the manufacturers don't want the customers that buy in the cars to take them anywhere but to them.
Right.
So we're always working to provide our customers with the information and the knowledge that they need to be able to compete with the manufacturer.
Right,
because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing, right? So
right. I understand completely. So, it's like the supplier for the pirate. You got to have somebody to help everybody get their job done. And everybody should have a right to fix their own stuff, really, at the end of the day. It shouldn't be insanely impossible to do yourself if you want to, or to hire somebody around you to do for much cheaper than going to a manufacturer. So this is not a bad service. It's a great service, to be honest. So thank you for that.
So, and we're protected by the Right to Repair Act.
Great.
Luckily,
So I've heard a lot about that lately. So.
Yeah, so there are some good things that come out of our government. Just a little jab there.
I got you. So when it comes to the actual services that TopDon products provide, there's the diagnostics, right? And then I know you guys have your battery chargers as well as your battery jump starters. Um, Anything specific as far as the diagnostic side of things go that you think would be very beneficial to a locksmith right away?
Oh, absolutely. So let's start. You mentioned battery chargers. We have a battery power supply that is critical to keep the voltage up on a vehicle whenever you're doing any type of long-term key on, engine off type of service, like programming a key.
Right.
On some of these cars, it takes a long time, and if that battery voltage drops too low, it
yes.
can cause a failure.
Oh, yes, it can.
So this is our Tornado 4000. You plug it in. This is one of our battery chargers. This is more of a maintainer, 4 peak amps. You can see it has a plug here on the end. It comes with an eyelet system so that you can make it more of a permanent connection. So you could hook this onto your battery, put this in a safe spot on the vehicle, and then whenever you pull up and get ready to need to charge it, you just plug this directly in for more of a temporary type of situation.
Like a quick connect adapter, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it would just plug in. They just plug in right here.
Okay, cool.
Depending on which system you want to use. I don't know how well you can see this, but if you can see the different types of batteries that we support. So the Tornado 4000 does 12 volt and 6 volt, whereas our Tornado 90,000 does 12 volt and 24 volt systems.
Okay.
So, but this does AGM, regular lead acid batteries, glass mat batteries, all of those types of batteries that you do, including it includes a repair mode for those deep discharge batteries. So we'll move on to the next one. So this is the Tornado 90,000.
Ooh, I think huge.
Which is a 90 amp power supply that is programmable for the amount of voltage that you want and the amount of amperage that you want. So you're not overloading the battery system. You're just providing the power that's needed to complete that job. So it comes with a long set of cables to connect to the car. And this is the unit that you would mostly use. This is the unit that you would mostly use whenever you're doing that key on, engine off.
This one can also handle the completely dead engine as well, just like the previous jumper could.
This has a repair mode, absolutely. So it'll get in there. So,
and it also has the same ability to connect with that quick connector.
No, not this one. No, this one, just because of the amount of amperage that it puts out and things, it just uses the cables. Now, if you wanted to do something like that, that's a possibility because the cables are attached via a lug.
Okay.
You can see right here.
Okay. All right. So you could make like a semi-permanent connection that you could just.
Yeah, you'd have to get you some different set of cables.
Right. Okay.
They're not going to be included.
Understood.
So you basically just get some cables with eyelets on both ends if you want to do something like that.
So it keeps itself monitored and metered to make sure it doesn't overpower it. No shortage of any sort. Okay.
Yes. It has a LCD display that shows all of that. Like I said, fully programmable, and it can also be used as a battery charger. But its main purpose is to be a stable power supply for key on, engine off processes that require an extended amount of time and can put a lot of drain on a battery.
And that's something that you would keep connected the entire time you're working on it, just as a backup to keep everything running steadily and correctly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then does it have like a monitoring system where it can let you know if the battery's going low? Like, does it have the ability to message you, any kind of connectivity like that? Anything? Like
yeah. So there'll be some auditable beeps if the voltage does drop below what's programmed for some reason that you're not able to maintain, that the tool's not able to maintain that voltage that you've set on it. If there's some type of problem there, then it'll give you an audible alert, plus it'll display on the screen so that you can look into that and see why we're not able to do that. Because, it could be that it's actually a bad battery.
Mm-hmm.
That would about be one of the main reasons you would see something like that, or some type of issue with the electrical wiring on the car.
To the battery itself. So if the battery starts to die or if your alternator starts to go, it automatically kicks in and gives you like a certain amount of time to keep going to safety or anything like that?
Like when you're driving, no, we don't have anything for that.
Just wondering.
Yeah.
Cool idea.
So we don't really have anything like that. Now we do have our jump starters that are really designed. We've got a Jump Surge 1200 that provides 1200 peak amps. We have a Jump Surge 2000 that provides up to 2000 peak amps, and then we have coming out very soon. It will be our Jump Surge 3000 that provides up to 3000 amps. That one is a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use it to start some, big diesel
big
engines.
semi trucks.
12 volt.
The records. That's really cool.
Yeah, so like a 10-liter diesel engine, that's as long as it's on a 12 volt system, it'll be able to do it. So.
All right, and they work well in cold temperature, hot temperature. Everything works the same no matter where you are.
Yes, exactly. So this is our Jump Surge 2000. Okay. There's the case that it comes in. So as you can see, I'm going to lay this case down for a minute.
Super portable.
So I can show you this. Now this is going to be to jumpstart that car, right?
Right.
If you got a bad battery or battery that's gone low, show you a little bit about the features of this. It's got your indicator right here that indicates your power charge. If you press and hold that power button, it'll turn on the LED light that we have at the bottom. I don't want to turn it on right now because it would just kill our cameras. But on this side here, you have your input. It uses a USB-C cable to charge. And again, this one you can charge with 5 volts off of your computer or use a power adapter from a cell phone or something. Works great to charge it. You have a standard pigtail type output on this side so that you can plug in things that power off a cigarette lighter type of adapter. And then at the top, you've got 2 USB outputs, a standard USB and a high output or QC quick charge output there. And then it has the place where you plug in your cables.
Does it have a USB-C out?
Yes, USB-C in.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so here's your jumper leads that come with it. You just plug them in right here. It's going to have your reverse polarity protection, all of that. So if you plug these up wrong, incorrect, the indicators for it are on the side. You have LED indicators. Let me raise that up some. You have LED indicators on the side.
Cool.
And if it's a battery that is based on what the indicator is doing, the LED indicator will indicate red if it sees a reverse connection.
Okay.
It'll be green if it sees a proper connection and the ability to jump start.
And
green LED is flashing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if the green LED is flashing, it means the battery is extremely discharged and you'll need to hit the boost button.
Okay.
There's a boost button that you will use.
Give you the full charge instead. Does it actually work if you have it connected wrong? Does it make it so it doesn't work at all?
Will not work at all.
Okay, so like
you'll just get the red LED.
So if even one of your cords is like malfunctioned or broken somehow, it won't give you a charge no matter what unless you have a complete connection.
Correct. Okay. A proper connection with the proper polarity. Exactly. Cool. So what they're designed to do is for the customer that's left the key on too long or left the headlights on and the battery's depleted low enough that it won't start.
Right.
But there's not actually a problem with the battery,
okay,
or you haven't done something that's drained that battery all the way down to a critical
just level. Enough to get you going, nothing to like you're not recharging, you're not like fully powering your battery from dead state. You're not trying to do that technically, right?
Correct.
So if you do have your battery in dead state, do you have anything to handle that situation?
Yeah, so then that would go back to our battery chargers, that T90,000 or one of our smaller battery chargers. We have a 30 amp T30,000. We have a 8 amp, which is the 8,000. And then we have all the way down to what a lot of people would call like a battery maintainer. That's a 1.2 amp. Depending on the size of the charger and the state of charge level on the battery is going to determine how long it might take to charge one up. For instance, if you've got a battery that's down, the state of charge on it is below zero, which is down below 11.8 volts or somewhere in that range. I don't have that in my head right now, but it's somewhere close to that. That the industry considers that a completely discharged battery.
Okay.
So anything below right around 11.5 volts, anything below that, the industry considers a completely discharged battery. So a battery that is that low with a little 1.2 amp maintainer might take 24 or 48 hours, depending on how big that battery is to charge.
Okay.
Then you get into the 30 amp charger or 90 amp charger, it's going to be able to charge it at a much faster rate, and so that the customer can get back on the road sooner. But we do have protection built into those, so when you start thinking about the old, what we would call the old school stuff, that you just turn on the battery charger and it forces
some charge into the battery,
high voltage into the system.
Right.
Our system has a smart board in it that does the processing and maintains a steady charge rate without overcharging the battery and getting it too hot and things like that.
Okay, cool.
That would ultimately cut down on the life of that battery.
Right. So it's got like a temperature controller, everything like that, to make sure everything's going to run correctly and smart.
The T90,000 does. It has a temperature probe. So it takes it to the next level and actually monitors the physical temperature of the battery.
All right. So make sure everything's running correctly. You're not going to blow anything up, and you're doing the best choices.
Right.
All right. Cool.
So with the smaller units, we're doing it with constantly just monitoring the state of the battery and using algorithms to determine if the battery might be getting too hot, and then if that's the case, they'll cut down on the voltage.
All right, and they also have like an auto shut off function, I'm sure, as well, to make sure nothing overheats.
Well, what we have is actually, I think, better than an auto shut off. What we have is once it reaches that 100% state of charge, it cuts off the amount that it's charging, but the tool will stay on and monitor that battery, so that if you've got something that's stored long term, if that voltage starts to drop again, it'll start charging again.
Cool. Very cool.
And keep it up there so that vehicle is ready, whenever you are. So
and can these chargers also be used to charge your tools or any other electronics you have on you at the time, like kind of generator style, anything like that you could do with them?
No, they're strictly for automotive batteries.
And
so
they are self-charging and have their own batteries included as well. Like they have their own lithium-ion power sources, right?
Well, the battery chargers are going to plug into to AC.
Okay, and then it's 120 volts.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the jump starters, yes, they have a lithium phosphate batteries in those. They're a little bit safer than lithium ion.
I understand. Okay, cool.
So we have those batteries in those, and of course, yes, they can charge via USB. And the technology that we have in them, even though it's putting out 12 volts, you can charge them from a USB port on your computer.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, so they can put it the full
charge. It takes
charge.
a little longer to charge it, but you can charge them from a 5-volt USB port. So
what about like the smart charge cords that they use for like the Samsungs? Does that like help charge it faster? Like if you have a larger charger? Okay, cool. Do you have anything for like electric vehicles? Anything to charge Teslas? Anything like that? If you're an electronic vehicle driver by chance?
It's funny you mentioned that. We're having a meeting about that. Our product team is starting to work on that, so be on the lookout for some stuff for the EV vehicles.
Yeah, man. Because I can imagine if there was a battery backup in your car while you're driving somewhere, that's like got to be beyond the point of very helpful to the whole drive.
Oh yeah, absolutely.